right about, there we go. Okay. Where's that maid service?
I want you
Maid service
to get up now.
I need a drink.
I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smith Radio, along with your host, Brian Smith, and
Kerry Smith.
giving you all the late-breaking news of the weekend, wrapping up, doing a coverall, if you will, of the week past, making sense of it all, explaining it to you, and helping you out so that when you go back to work Monday morning, you know what you're talking about. You're locked and loaded and ready to go to knock down all those zombies, or Democrats, as some people call them.
Oh, I thought you might have been making reference to that viral video that those people did. Did you see that?
No, what?
Just some kids, they're brothers. They had a little sister.
The girl!
Yeah.
That went to the dentist!
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I finally watched. It was one of the things that was like,
I don't want to do it.
well, I was ignoring it because it doesn't interest me.
Right.
And then I started seeing it everywhere. So I thought, well, gosh, if it's that good, it's good. It's making its rounds to like Yahoo. Even Glenn Beck spent like an hour talking about this video.
What?
Yeah, he couldn't believe
And then
it.
the other hour he spent throwing knives at
Trump.
the
Oh,
guy-
he bashed Trump from top to bottom.
who's the guy he's in the fight with that on
Oh, Alex Jones.
Yeah. Why can't I remember that guy's name?
I don't know.
Alex Jones.
It's
Alex Jones.
always
Alex
right
Jones,
on the
Alex
tip
Jones.
of my tongue.
Alex Jones. Okay, so the I guess he would be the king of conspiracy theories for the most part.
Well, he's not the founder of
No.
conspiracy theories.
That'd be George Norrie. Back in the 1800s when George was born.
Well, he's been reincarnated, and they will talk about that kind of stuff on the show.
Yes.
I promise you, you will get that on his show.
Alien ships, abductions.
Oh, he was. What happened was
He was probed.
no, he was born in the 1800s, right?
Correct.
But then when he got abducted by the aliens and they took him around the universe at close to the speed of light,
Right.
when he came back, he's in present day, modern day. So
Oh.
that's how he knows that stuff.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what would happen. Just like in that Disney movie, Flight of the Navigator.
Speaking of that. Okay, well, all right. In
A
the
little bit
news
of
today,
Hollywood reference for you.
I want to give it just real quick on current events, and this is pretty groundbreaking. The past couple of days, we have had earthquakes rocking the world. Apparently in Japan.
Yeah, Japan had it.
Oh, there's calling 32 deaths from Saturday's magnitude 7.3, and then just under a dozen. They had deaths after a magnitude 6.5 in the same area Thursday. So Thursday they had a 6.5 quake, and then Saturday they had another one at 7.3, and then in Ecuador they had a 7.8 earthquake in Ecuador, 77 dead and hundreds injured. I was looking at some of the pictures in Ecuador. You got to remember, Ecuador is like a third world country. And their buildings really, I mean, you talk about shantytown and shacks, but it's pretty devastating there as well. So that's just, keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they try and rebuild and recover, trying to get back. I mean, you're talking about, Japan, obviously, they have the resources and the means and the monetary backing, if you will, to go ahead and help their areas that have been hit the hardest. But Ecuador, I think they're going to wind up relying on international help to try and pull that back together.
Well, and, when you talk about these third world countries, the cost of the damage would be more in a first world country where there's a lot more infrastructure that
True.
would be damaged.
True.
So it's just a matter of manpower to fix it all. You know what I mean? But anyway.
So you want to talk about what you were going to talk about?
Do you have any...
Pre-show prep. We haven't talked about this yet.
Do you have anything in the stack about what happened with Colorado? Because remember last week, if you listened to us last week, we kind of left off with what the heck is going on with Colorado, because on the Saturday right before our show, and really it wasn't reported till Sunday.
Right.
So like we were like breaking the news, but we didn't have all the information. All we knew was suddenly Ted Cruz had all the delegates from Colorado.
I'm not sure if we said this on the last show, but I'll reiterate that the delegates in Colorado were campaigned to by the Cruz campaign, and pretty much you don't vote in Colorado. The Democrats or the delegates, Democrats, because it's not a democratic process here. It's a Democrat process.
Yeah, they've apparently adapted. Because here's the thing that I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay, so
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay, hold on. So at the convention, these delegates put on a 10-minute speech on why they should be the delegate chosen to go to Cleveland. And apparently all of these delegates that were chosen and picked to go apparently supported Cruz.
Well, that may not be. Maybe they were kind of more like, hey, I'm a Republican. Let's see what happens. And then what happened is Cruz had a big ground game going in Colorado.
Right.
And they have lots and lots and lots of donor money. Lots of donor money. And he's not afraid to use it. And apparently it's legal. I just found this out this past couple weeks. It's legal. Actually, we talked about this last show.
You're allowed to,
you can dump anything on delegates except for duffel bags of actual cash. So they wine and dine them, send them all over to trips. So you could give them a house. You can
and meet very famous people. Like if you say to a delegate, like say I was a delegate, they said, Brian, we'd like your vote, and your wife has told us that you're very fond of the band Led Zeppelin and Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, and the collaboration between the two of them. Hey, by the way, they're kind of getting together and doing a little studio rehearsal. And they said that you could sit in, hang out with them.
Hang out.
Before the day.
Or that concert that they're having in London on the other side of the world.
Yeah, backstage.
Not only, backstage. You're going to have the full VIP. We're going to fly you there. Oh, it's tomorrow. Load up.
By the way, you're in a private jet by yourself.
Well, with your family.
Whoever you want to bring.
Whoever you want to bring.
But it is
you want to bring 10 people?
Private.
Oh, 20 people? All right. Well, as long as they fit on the plane. I'm sorry, I got to limit it to the amount of people that can fit on the plane.
We have a fully fueled up 737.
So
747? Yes, I just got the phone call.
It's like 500 people.
It's Air Force One.
Oh, jeez.
No, during one of the presidential elections where the sitting president was running for his next term, they flew delegates on Air Force One to England to meet the Queen.
Okay. So what you're saying is even if you don't know on the outset, this is a very corrupt system. Very corrupt. And it's not democratic because in this particular case, they didn't even vote. It's one thing to say, hey, look at Louisiana, which, by the way, that's the thing that got the spark. That was like the little spark.
The purchase of Louisiana?
Yes, actually it was. They did purchase. Yeah, this was the spark. The spark was Trump won Louisiana. And so he presumably got a majority of the delegates.
That's how every state for both parties, that's the way it goes.
Well, some of them are winner take all and all that kind of stuff.
But the point is, if you win the most, you get the most delegates.
That would be what you would think.
Everybody else does that.
Well, not the Democrat Party. They got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of super delegates. Thousands, probably.
Right. That's awesome sauce. That's what she gets. She gets the awesome sauce of 500 delegates.
So anyway, Louisiana, Trump won that. And presumably he got the most amount of delegates. And then all of the sudden, like weeks later, news came out that, oh, by the way, now suddenly, weeks after the election happened, Cruz is going to have more delegates out of Louisiana than Trump. And that's the first time all your, I'm not gonna, low information voters. I mean, people that are busy. They don't make politics their go-to entertainment on their daily basis. It's just like, hey, elections are coming around. Who should I vote for? Those kind of people.
Or it's like, hey, it's Sunday night at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
Tune in to Smith Radio. There's your news.
Yeah, that's all that they got.
Right.
That's all they listen to. Those people were like, what? Cruz gets more delegates from Louisiana, even though Trump won. I don't care who you support. There's something that just doesn't sit very well with anybody who has any respect for a simple democracy.
Right. And, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Trump is in the lead. I like what Trump stands for. I like where he's going. However, if Trump was accused of doing this in the lead, I would absolutely denounce him. I would denounce all of it, as I'm denouncing that Cruz should come out and say, yeah, this ain't right. But no, he's not.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem.
He's championing the fact he's
high-fiving.
Yes, that he's giving speeches.
But he's bragging.
Yes,
he's literally bragging about being able to pick up delegates that I would call it a fair democratic system. Now, by the way, and I don't even remember if I have said this on previous episodes, but I'll say it again because it's important. There's a lot of people, and they're almost all Cruz supporters, who are saying, hey, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic.
Okay, explain that.
And those delegates or representatives or whatever, they represent us, and they act on our behalf. That's what they say. And that's what a republic is. That's true, but guess what? Everybody says, oh, it's a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. But guess what? Every single American that's being honest with themselves knows that in America, we have a democratic process as a part of our constitutional republic. And that democratic process is that every election cycle, we all, as a people, a population of citizens in America, we all do a democratic process of selecting the representatives who will represent us for that time period in our constitutional republic. So, don't hand me this crap that, constitutional republic, first of all, you need to bust out a dictionary, and you need to look up what the definition of a republic is. A republic is when representatives of the people act on behalf of those people.
Okay, so how do they become representatives of the people? The people elect them?
Well, if you were one of these people who may or may not be a Cruz supporter, who are trying to say we live in a republic and that's why that there's nothing wrong with this process, I guess they assume that representatives select representatives.
Okay.
Not the people, because we're not in a democracy. This isn't a democracy. Everybody knows we're not. Glenn Beck tried to make this argument.
I'd like to see them and talk to them when they have a candidate that they don't support. Now continue to say, if all of these shenanigans were going to Trump, I promise you these Cruz supporters wouldn't be saying this.
Oh, absolutely not. They would be bouncing off the walls. They would be so upset. And there are a lot there. Now, here's the key, though. This is a very fascinating thing that's happened this week. And by the way, Rush Limbaugh was wrong all week on this.
I'm having some reservations about some of the things he's talking about. Yes.
I've
never called Rush wrong ever.
I know.
Never.
He is hardly. I could probably count on two fingers the amount of times I may have caught him in saying something that I felt was just totally wrong. And this week, he spent the whole week totally